Good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon, Mrs. Sahagun. Today, I will be talking about a Japanese literature, which is in a grove, and it also has a Japanese title, Yagunonaka. It was written by Ryunosuke Akutagawa. Since you were introduced earlier about the story, I'm going to give you now a short background about the author. So, Ryunosuke Akutagawa lived from 1892 until 1927, and he was born in Tokyo, Japan. He is known as the father of Japanese short stories, but the sad thing about that was the title was given to him a few decades or maybe a year after he died. And I think that's a common thing about the artists. They will only get recognized once they're gone. So, moving on to that, he is also considered as the son of the dragon. In kanji style of writing, Ryunosuke means dragon. So his parents are Fuku and Nihara Toshizo. His mother Fuku went insane after she gave birth to Ryunosuke, and sad thing about that, in some literature said that she died out of insanity, and his father, Nihara Toshizo, unfortunately could not be able to raise his son, Akutagawa. So here comes his uncle, Akutagawa Dosho. So Akutagawa Dosho was the one who took care of Ryunosuke Akutagawa and the one who sent him to school, also the one who nourished and encouraged him to write stories. Ryunosuke Akutagawa attended Tokyo Imperial University in 1913. Tokyo Imperial University is one of the prestigious schools in Japan during that time, and Ryunosuke Akutagawa said to be very active in school, and that he even founded Shinshicho, which is the magazine in their school, and that's together with his friends Kikuchi-kan and Kumi Masao. In 1915, he published his short story Rashomon. So Rashomon is the story about the life after the war has ended. And in 1921, he published In a Grove. So Ryunosuke Akutagawa wrote 150 short stories in his entire life, and in his early stage of writing, it's more about historical tales, just like Rashomon. Eventually, he started writing about his own emotional state of mind and modern psychological point of view. And he usually write his stories in macabre themes. So when you say macabre, it is something disturbing, and it also involves crime or killings. So Rashomon was filmed in 1950 by Akira Kurosawa. Akira Kurosawa is a famous Japanese film director. Ryunosuke Akutagawa died July 24, 1927, and he was only 35 years old at the time. And he committed suicide by drug overdose. So, in some literatures that I've read, he was having these visual hallucinations where every time that he go out and eat in some restaurant, all that he can see in the plate are maggots. So he thought that someone wants to kill him, and that's the reason why he committed suicide. If you know the harakiri thing in Japanese culture, it's like they rather kill themselves than to be killed by other people or their enemies. So that's what he did. So now let's talk about In a Grove. So this picture was taken from Rashomon film, and these are the 7 characters of In a Grove. And we all know that all the characters were telling different, stories from each other, and also this story is a polyvocal narration where no particular narrator in this story. So the exposition. It starts with the woodcutter's testimony and give an idea that there was a murder happened. And the rising action was when the Buddhist priest gave a contradictive testimony from the woodcutter in terms of the things carried by Takehiro, and not only with that, but also contradictive testimony, else like the woman was 4'5" in height, but how could you able to say that if the woman was riding a horse, you know? So the climax was when Masago, Tajomaru, and Takehiro gave their accounts of murder, and each of them gives contradictive testimony, and all of them claim to have killed Takehiro, including Takehiro himself. So the main conflict of this story is that who's telling the truth, because the three of them claim to have killed, the dead samurai, including the samurai himself. So there is also no resolution to this story because we don't know who really killed him, and we were left, to judge. So here are the four minor characters. The first one is the woodcutter and the Buddhist priest, the old woman, which is the important in the four minor characters because he was the one who gave us the information about the couple. The last picture is the bounty hunter, who's also a police officer. So here comes Tajomaru's confession. So according to him, he was the one who killed the samurai after they had a sword fight. He confessed how the crime started and how it was committed. Also, he talked about taking advantage of the wife, and he said that the wife clung to him and told him to kill or fight her husband. So that is Tajomaru in the picture. Actually, based on the story, if you're going to read it carefully, Tajomaru doesn't really want to kill the samurai. I'm not saying that he was the one who killed him. So here comes the wife, Masako, and she confessed at a temple. The 6 characters confessed at the police station or in the police commissioner, but Masako confessed at a temple. So she said that she was the one who murdered her husband. So after she was took advantage and raped by the bandit, she passed out several times, and when she woke up, the bandit was already gone. So here, she gave a contradictive statement. It's very contradicting from the confession of Tajomaru, because Tajomaru said that the wife left during the fight, and Masago is somehow telling us that the bandit was gone when she woke up after she was taken advantage. So in the last bullet, it was her and Takehiro who were left in the grove. So sila yung naiwan, and Masago, sabi din ni Masago here, just looking at her, Takehiro was somehow telling her to kill him. So she did using her small dagger. So ayun, parang nababasa niya yung sinasabi or iniisip ng samurai na patayin mo na lang ako kaysa ganun yung mangyari. Kasi sinasabi ni Masago, wait, Englishin ko na lang. The husband or the dead samurai witnessed everything happened between Tajomaru and Masago. So he felt angry and ashamed. It feels like he just wanted to die. So yun. After killing her husband, she tried to kill herself several times, which she could not succeed. She was trying to commit suicide, but it feels like, the heaven denies her to death, which is weird. So here comes Takehiro's confession. So Takehiro confessed in an identified medium. He also gave her account of murder. So according to him, after the bandit took advantage of his wife in front of him, he was hurt and felt ashamed, just like what I was saying earlier. So he tried to tell his wife not to listen to Tajumaru, but he could not speak because he gagged with bamboo leaves. And he was surprised that his wife told Tajumaru to kill him. He forgave the bandit after he heard what his wife wanted. So, ayun, he somehow tried to tell the wife not to listen kasi parang binibrainwash si Masago ni Tajomaru. Pero ayun, aso hindi siya makapagsalita ng maayos kasi siya, may mga bamboo leaves siya. Parang binusalan siya ng bamboo leaves. So, nagulat din siya. He was surprised. Pero, nagulat siya kasi, as wife, syempre, mag-aalala ka sa husband mo. Pero, grabe lang kasi, iba yung narinig niya. Imbis na mag-worry si Masago, ang sinabi pa ni Masago kay Tajumaru na patayin na siya. So, yun. Pinatawad niya yung bandit or si Tajumaru after niyang marinig yun. Parang, siguro nagalit siya sa asawa niya. So, Tajumaru went to him and asked him what he wants him to do with Masago. Si Tajumaru lumapit kay Takehiro at kinausap niya to kung ano bang gusto mong gawin ko dito, patayin ko na ba? Parang ganun yung sinasabi. Kasi hindi naman to nag-worry sa'yo. Ano gusto mong parang revenge? Parang si Tajumaru yung mag-revenge para kay Takehiro. Pero eventually, umalis na lang si Tajumaru. Nilet go na lang ni Tajumaru si Takehiro. Tapos yung asawa niya umalis na lang. Parang ganun. Tumakas. So he was left alone, untied, and he found the dagger of his wife and stabbed himself. So, ang sinasabi dito ni Takehiro ay siya yung pumatay sa sarili niya. Parang dahil sa mga nangyari, naisip niya na patayin na lang yung sarili niya. So, inistab niya yung chest niya using Masago's dagger, kagaya ng pinakita ko kaninang picture. So, ayun. When he was about to take his last breath, he heard a noise, but he could not recognize it anymore. And then, somebody pulled the dagger on his chest, and then he died. So, etong part na to is, nung naghihingalo na siya, nakarinig siya ng ingay, pero hindi niya na kasi alam yun. Namatay siya kasi may humugot ng dagger sa chest niya. And, sa opinion ko lang, or sa guess ko lang, pwedeng yun ay yung woodcutter. Yan. Nawawala yung dagger, yung murder weapon na very important. Pero, maybe he sell it in an amount of money. So, for me, I think Takehiro is the one who's telling the truth here, and he was the one who killed himself because of the hierarchy culture of Japanese people. Siyempre, parang defeated siya ni Tajumaru. Tapos, siguro yung kay Tajumaru, kaya niya lang sinasabi na siya yung pumatay, kasi trained samurai itong si Takehiro. Parang mabuboost yung kanyang sarili na I killed a trained samurai and ako, malakas talaga ako. Parang ganon, parang binibuild up niya yung sarili niya. Yeah, he was trying to establish that he's a strong man. Ganon. And si Masago naman, dahil siguro sa kahihiyan na din, kaya niya gustong magpakamatay. And I don't know the reason bakit niya sinabi na gusto niya na lang mamatay at bakit din siya nagpapakamatay, kasi sa unang part na gusto niyang mag-run away kasama si Tajumaru kasi probably they are fighting. Sa mag-asawa hindi mo naman maiiwasan ng pag-aaway. Everyone has their own biases. So, lahat sila ay nagsasabi ng iba't ibang kwento. And pwede rin na iba't ibang pangyayari yun, kagaya ng Buddhist priest. Pwedeng iba din yung kinikwento niya, ibang murder, ibang tao yung sinasabi niya. Okay, I'm not going to say anything anymore. So, that's all. Thank you everyone for listening.